The tattoo we getting right here, Darren. Surrender. Is this where we are now? Like, what made you choose this?
Surrender. I mean, by now I'm a spiritual being having a human experience. So surrendering is the ultimate way to peace, I feel like. You know what I'm saying? Surrendering results, surrendering outcomes, surrendering the way that you want things to go exactly how they should, exactly how they're planned. Letting all those things go, because when you try to control those things, you're only bringing suffering and anxiety upon yourself. So just a reminder of that. Whenever I'm in my head or in any part of my day, I can see that, and it's just a reminder to just breathe and let things be.
I definitely agree. I never I feel like when a person hears the word surrender, it automatically just means like retreat. You know what I'm saying? So it might have like a negative connotation.
That's a very good point.
But when you break it down in that, you know what I mean? In that way, I was like,
that's a good point. Because I mean, what year were you born?
88.
Yeah, I was born in 92, so we were born up in the era of don't quit, never let them see you quit, never let them see you sweat, never let them see you all that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, so anybody going up in there is like surrender. That means admitting defeat. If I admit defeat, that shows weakness. And if I show weakness, I'm getting preyed upon. And it's like,
yeah,
okay, like in a certain area of your life, certain time, that mindset served you, but as opposed to, peace and joy and things like that being the ultimate goal, the ultimate thing you're seeking after in your life, that mindset doesn't serve you anymore. So it's time to unlearn certain things, and that's what that all ties into it. But yeah, it's a great point.
Yeah. So what I know, like I said, we're in the new chapter of your life right now. So what are some of the things that you're doing right now that like make you happy, you find joy in, outside of, your norm of just like I said, just being a professional athlete?
As I'm in this phase of, contemplating what I want my future to look like. It's a lot of creating, a lot of music being made. I recorded an album during the season in New York last year, and thought it was done, thought it was complete, and then I get home to Vegas and record new stuff, and I'm like, wait, this is my new favorite stuff now. And then we had that shout out to J-Rod. We had J-Rod in Vegas and recorded stuff with him. That was incredible. And so now it's like, so much stuff now. It's like, I don't even know how I want my album to flow anymore. I changed the name of the title that I wanted, but it's all fun. It's all the process that I want to be in. Gotten out in nature a lot of hiking.
Have you always been into being in nature, or that's been something like that you kind of picked up like in a new chapter of your life, like through like sobriety and stuff?
Well, you got to be exposed to nature first. Being in Georgia, it's just like you can go and have like some great trails and stuff like that, and there's outdoors. There's some dope stuff in Georgia, but it's moving out to Vegas is a whole different level because there's like real deal mountains, real deal hikes, like, and then nearby are national parks and things of that nature. So, being out there is what really lit me up to nature, and I've become a much more open and receptive person of new things as my life goes on. So, when the opportunity was presented, being out there and just being in awe of creation is it's an amazing feeling.
That's dope. Right now, just based off places you've been, as far as like, I don't know, just like where it's just like, oh man, this is breathtaking. Like, what's one spot you've been to that always like it's just right there in your head?
Zion National Park was the first. I went there 2 years ago. It's about 3 hours from Vegas in southern Utah. And just the size of the rocks and the park, and you're just driving by all these things, and it's like, it's humbling, like your cousin said at the taco shop, like seeing things like that, seeing how small you are in the grand scheme of things and in nature. It's like, it's a humbling thing because, we think we're so important and our lives mean so much on day to day. And I mean, they do. Our lives are important, but we, with dealing with our egos and everything, it's like, we think everything we do, everything we touch is like so important, and like the world is revolving around us. But you get out there into that type of environment and you're like, damn, I'm like a grain of sand compared to this gigantic rock right here, I don't know, it's dope to feel that way.
what are some of the places like on your, what would it be called, a bucket list, a travel list that you want to make? Let's just say, for example, before the year is over, what are some of the places that you think about maybe trying to make your way to?
Um, I don't have any say. I just have a lot that I'd like to go to at some point. I don't need them to be in any particular order or by a certain time period, but all the parks in Utah. Um, so that's Zion, Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, Canyonlands, and Arches. Maybe return to Montana again because I've been to Glacier National Park. See that in the summertime because me and the homies we went there during the wintertime. Um, Yosemite National Park would be cool. Sequoia National Park, Yellowstone, like places like that. You know.
Yeah, oh, that's hard, brother. Um, right now, as I know, like I said, you on this new journey of everything that you've been working on. Like I said, I've had the pleasure to be around you and soak up a lot, but I see you do like a lot of like self work, and like I draw motivation from seeing like your self work. What drives that? Like, what is just, you just know it's something you need to do, or like what kind of like keeps you going
Um, I guess
without without people, somebody telling you like, hey, bro, this is what you need to do. You know what
I
I mean?
guess the simplest and most answer would be I know the type of person that I can become or regress back into when I'm not having daily practices and habits like that. So it's like if I'm not taking care of myself and doing those things, I'm going to regress back more into mindsets and, belief systems that I had earlier on in life when I was, doing drugs and shit like that. Um, I don't want that. I know if I don't take care of myself, yeah, I'm gonna be more of that person that's like trying to please people and please the world and go about things with the rhythm and flow of what the world's doing. And it's like, none of that shit matters, bro. Like, how I feel about myself when I'm by myself or anywhere is
Yeah,
the utmost importance. That's wealth. That's success to me. And
yeah, because I think, yeah, everybody a lot of times look at success and they view it as like monetary or like, or materialistic things. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
I've made a lot of money and been unhappy. I've been married and been unhappy. I've been, a lot of things that would look good from the outside looking in, and you can be, but it's like on the inside you don't feel it, and there's a disconnect. And it's
yeah,
like
but I think
tired of
it's,
that bit, tired of there being a disconnect. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and like, so it's like now it's like doing the work for yourself. Like, I'm pretty sure like just even being a professional athlete and just like I said, just playing sports your entire life. Like you always like, it's a child game, and it's like you play it for fun, but then it becomes business and it becomes work, and it's like, like you're not come to the point where you're not doing it for yourself no more. Like you,
Yeah, very true. And then there's the elements of like, damn near every human interaction you have is football related or football based or fantasy based or injury based, and it's like when you're a person that, there's so much more to life that ignites you and that you care about and that you are. Like there's so many more parts to you. It gets kind of old and gets kind of stale when people just come up to you and it's like you're like the lion in the cage at the zoo, and it's just like, what's next year gonna be like, or is your body okay, or is like shit like that. Just kind of gets old. It doesn't, you don't show it or it doesn't affect you to much of a degree. It's like damn, like I wish people would see the human being behind,
yeah.
underneath the pads or behind the helmet. You know what I'm saying?